Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to see you. So, cooking on YouTube, right? A very, lucrative thing. Plenty of people, not just YouTube, but TikTok too, internet creators. And, you know, I have a particular taste for it. This is how I learned a lot of my recipes. People might use recipe blogs and stuff, but I tend to prefer watching a YouTube video. And I have coalesced the top 6 or 7 uh, not YouTube, food content creators on both TikTok and YouTube that I think personally are the best. And I'm going to go into my reasons why. And we're going to be going from least to best with an honorable mention in between. So let's get started, shall we? Now, due to the fact that we are going to be doing, looking at my screen for this, content demands that I be big. Yee. Starting, first of all, with the worst, who used to be I like quite a lot, and frankly, is a real shame that it's gotten to this point. Joshua Weissman. Joshua Weissman, you may say, Evan, he's got 9 million subscribers. He's the fucking cooking daddy. Da 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 da. You're right. I was put on to Joshua Weissman in approximately 2020, 2019, 2020, by my buddy Jaquan. He told me about him, and I started watching a couple of his videos, and I liked it. He made relatively robust dishes that were a joy to both make and eat. And, it was very much like he did a simple side, he did the technical side, but over time, his videos very much like people seemed to be receptive to the over-the-top equipment and techniques and stuff, which is fine, but what attracted me to him initially was he was very technical, doing a lot of very very simple things, like things you have in your kitchen. I don't need to have to special order, a tomahawk, steak, or own a in-house smoker, or even own a fucking liquid smoker or some shit like that. Like at the end of the day, he's sort of his cooking videos kind of became just this display of avarice that was not fantastic. And as much as I think his personality, on-screen personality, is great, functionally at the end of the day, I think he also realized why these were issues in the first place, and hence why, if you look at his channel now, he's kind of gone, more towards exploring food tourism. You know, he's still trying to. He probably realized that, the cooking videos aren't doing good because people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, there's too much. And then he's like, I made the easiest ramen ever. I made a meal so easy a college student can make it. The problem is that a lot of times these videos, I can't speak for those because I stopped fucking watching them at a certain point, is even the videos that he made that on the frame looked easy, they weren't. They were hard for poor people to have, for college students to have, and that kind of brings us into the second worst, which is Vincento's plate. Now, here's the thing about Vincento's plate. He makes cooking videos that are traditionally Italian and made in an authentic way, and thankfully, because the reason he is higher than Joshua Weissman is because good, solid Italian cuisine made in the motherland and things like that is made of simple, easy ingredients: eggs, milk, tomatoes. It is very, very much the Italian cuisine by its nature is a very simple food category. Unfortunately, he brings an elitism to it that was endearing the first time, but now it's one thing when you're watching a Cabanera video, and for example, like you feel like oh, they're not doing it right, they're like, they're not doing the technique right. That's one thing. The problem is that he, says you need to have pancetta. You can't have bacon. You can't use anything else. It's not real. You shouldn't put cream in it. You should do it this way. When in the reality, when you make a carbonara that way, you most people don't have the control. Most people don't know or aren't aware of their stoves enough to be able to keep it into the 120 to 140 temperature range that you need to keep it at so the egg can emulsify and not clump. It's unfortunate, and that's just a small example. There is a hyperfixation on authenticity that bleeds into classism, because while where he may live in the world, getting pancetta is easy, getting traditional authentic Italian ingredients is relatively easy or inexpensive for him. People in America are mostly poor. People in America are like 62% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and functionally, at the end of the day, like, while he absolutely will make some good cooking videos talking about the technique and everything you need to do, and also like it's also easy to replicate in a lot of ways, there are certain ingredients and certain things that he demands that are unkind, broadly, to people of varying circumstances, which brings us to the third person who, this is the first person who I would say is generally neutral or good, and that is the wolf pit. The wolf pit, I am showing here primarily for what they substantively are, but I want to give a warning after. The wolf pit is somebody who makes simple, to use this with a quote, simple is all about simple, easy, delicious food and recipes. A lot of times he's using dollar store or very cheap ingredients. This is very, very much a channel about making good, hearty, filling food on a budget, like, so for like families or even just individuals. This is, it's very much a guy who is focused on making making things that are useful for people. Now, here's the caveat. Sometimes, so the man who runs this, as far as I can tell, leans conservative in a lot of ways. Now, in this context, it's not necessarily a bad thing, except if you are the type of person who might get, think like fuck you to like somebody, talking down to you because of your class, or making or maybe snide comments about where you might live in the country, that is a fair warning. This is, even despite that, in some of his political leanings showing, this is absolutely an excellent resource if you're poor, if you're struggling, if you're on a budget, if you're a college student, all manner of things. This is the Wolf Pit is an excellent resource channel, and he sources all of ingredients from places like Dollar General, places like that. So, at the very least, it's if you are in a position where money is definitely an object and things are tight, this is absolutely a place for you to do. He's a Southern guy, so he also very much like goes deeper into things like braising, smoking, just traditional Southern barbecue. So definitely something to consider as well. But to bring it over, but to bring it to a lighthearted thing for a second, the next person I want to talk about is Dylan Hollis. That's right, Twink Captain America. He is the person who takes old recipes and basically creates them. Some of them are hit, some of them are miss. I have gotten some ideas for some lovely little desserts and treats from him. He's absolutely does a really, really great job with these. He's got a good sense of humor. He's funny, and while sometimes the ratios of things are hit or miss, and he has a little bit of a lingo in his videos you have to understand to sort of get things. I'm sorry, I keep like looking over here or looking here. I have two cameras. It's a pain in the ass. I'm so sorry, but by and large, he is definitely someone really great to look at. The second person is also the next. The runner up is going to be Jordan the Stallion. And the reason I put Jordan the Stallion here is because generally, the things that he has you make are things like sauces, fries, seasoning recipes, things of that nature from like places that you might like, establishments you might like. He's the president of the Fast Food Secrets Club, of course. Jordan does an excellent job with this. I have his recipe for Texas Roadhouse honey butter sitting in my fridge as we speak, and frankly, he does. And frankly, like all like the stuff that he suggests, some of it's kind of some bullshit, but a lot by and like in regards to the amount of work. But for somebody who might not be able to afford takeout myself, having being able to go into my kitchen and make the thing I want is a very useful and awesome thing to have access to, and Jordan does a really good job. Primarily, the reason I'm putting him above Dylan here is because I enjoy his cadence and I enjoy his delivery and I enjoy his personality a little bit more. But now I want to talk about an honorable mention. Cooking by Approximation. Cooking by Approximation is a series on YouTube that basically aims to make certain dishes that you might want to have, but you might not be able to have the equipment or the things in your kitchen to be able to use. And it's all about like just making fun little things, and it's very much about having the failures present, showing it's a very humanizing cooking show. Who makes it? Me, motherfucker. Wait, Evan, did you, Evan Haggard, do an entire TV show, like video rating food YouTubers just because you wanted to, I don't know, dump a advertisement for your cooking show? Yes, that is exactly what I did. It's my channel. Eat me. Also, watch Cooking by Approximation. It's not I've got some good stuff in here. There's 10 videos so far. I've been doing it for like about a year now, updating it intermittently, and there's only 12 viewers on this bit, so help a brother out. But so shameless promotion aside, I want to talk about the best one. And that is obviously going to be, if it decides to load, of course, Babish. Binging with Babish, the Babish Culinary Universe, blah, 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 blah. So, why am I putting Binging with Babish up here? Because it's not just him, obviously. He has other people that come in. He does the fun, engaging videos of like a Dylan or a Jordan, where he makes things off of like things that you might have seen on TV and in video games, which is great. He also has an excellent basic series, which teaches you everything you need to as far as basic things from scratch, as well as easier versions. Some of his videos, especially for the or Anime with Albin or the things from TV shows, might require a little bit more, but again he supplements that with his basic series, and he is engaging and funny and wonderful throughout all of it. He has multiple other people making things on the channel, where he has a Rick Martinez making Matazalan Mexican food, and there's just a bunch of different and is a wealth of content on here that's all wonderful, and and unlike a Joshua Weissman, there is a variance of there's the absurdity stuff, and then there's the practical stuff. It isn't just the stuff Babish puts out isn't useless for someone like me. He doesn't have the elitism of Vincento, the occasional classism of or the occasional xenophobia of the Wolf Pit, and he has also his own blog and website that has all of the things he creates specified out, which is lovely. He's the most approachable. I don't watch him for fun. I watch him for practicality, and every time I do and I see something on his feed that I'm like, oh, I want to cook that, and I watch it, like the only thing that would be preventing me from doing so is the ingredients. And 9 times out of 10, the thing that he's showing me ingredient wise, I probably wasn't going to be able to. I wasn't going to have in my pantry in the first place, and that's okay. But if you do want to cook something that's probably in your pantry or is relatively inexpensive, if not, and if it is expensive, it's something that'll last you for fucking ever. Check out Cooking by Approximation. I work hard on my YouTube videos. This is one I'm proud of. It's much more low key. It's not super high edited. It's very much just me cooking some shit in the kitchen, and I hope you guys like it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your viewership. Um, Thank you so very much for watching. I will, excuse me, see you guys very, very soon. Please check out the thingamadoohickeys on the side here, and feel free to help a brother out by donating. If you want to have access to some pretty awesome content that's exclusive, early access content for the week, journal entries and stuff I've written, and plenty of other perks, please consider donating a little bit of money. It helps a ton, especially given I'm currently in between jobs and money's a bit tight. Help brother out with groceries. Thank you all so much for your support. If you aren't subscribed, please consider doing so. I love your faces, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.